It was a Tuesday morning. Not that anyone knew it was Tuesday. There were no calendars in the late Cretaceous. There was just this warm air, wet ground, the smell of fins, and 165 million years of being the most successful animal the planet had ever produced. And somewhere far above, so far, it had been traveling for 66 million years before this morning. A rock the size of a small city was about to arrive. It had been visible in the daytime sky for 24 hours, just a point of light brighter than usual that no one who could see it had the capacity to understand. In the morning of the last day began like very other morning for 165 million years. The temperature near what is now Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula was about 26 degrees Celsius, warm, humid, and pleasantly tropical. Triceratops were grazing in the open food plains. Hadrosaurs were at the riverbanks drinking. Pterosaurs rode the morning thermals above the forest canopy, some with wingspans wider than a small plane. In the forest, small mammals, our ancestors, secured through the undergrowth, keeping low, staying out of sight exactly as they had for millions of years. Literally nobody was afraid. Nothing felt different. It was just the morning. About an hour before the impact, the light in the sky changed. The asteroid, a carbonaceous rock over 10 kilometers wide, was entering the atmosphere at 20 kilometers per second. That is 58 times the speed of sound. In the final seconds, it was brighter than the sun. The last thing many dinosaurs saw was a light, so bright their eyes were permanently seared before the shockwave even arrived. The asteroid hit. In 5 seconds, a transient crater 30 kilometers deep and wider than the English Channel opened in the earth. The impact generated the energy of 100 billion tons of TNT, 4.5 billion times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. The crater rim was 20 kilometers high for about 90 seconds, taller than to Mount Everest, before gravity pulled it back down. In the first few minutes, a tsunami up to 300 meters high left the crater and crossed the Gulf of Mexico at the speed of a jet aircraft. 40 minutes after impact, it began to rain fire. Every single one of those rock fragments, from pebbles to boulder, was moving fast enough that friction turned into a torch. The entire atmosphere of Earth was heated to above oven temperature globally for several hours. Anything that could not shelter underground or underwater in the first hours did not survive the heat pulse. But underground, something waited. By the afternoon, the sky was dark, not storm dark, not eclipse dark. Wrong dark, the kind of dark that comes when the sun has been turned off. The impact had vaporized billions of tons of sulfur-rich rock. It was already mixing the water vapor in the upper atmosphere, the beginning of an acid rain that lasts for years. Temperatures would drop by up to 28 degrees Celsius globally within weeks. By evening, 75% of all species on Earth were either already dead or beginning to the process of dying. 24 hours after that Tuesday morning, the Earth was a different planet. The dinosaurs, all of them except the birds, were gone or dying. The birds, small feathered descendants of Theropods dinosaur, were dying too, but some would survive. The small mammals, our ancestors, were underground, in burrows, just waiting. In the ocean, the tsunami damage extended hundreds of kilometers inland. Mosasaurs and the marine reptiles were dead or like dying. The ocean chemistry was already beginning to change from the acid rain arriving at the surface. The planet that had hosted life for over 3.5 billion years was not dying, but it was going to be very, very different. The impact winter lasted between 2 to 8 years. In the dark and the cold, 75% of species disappeared forever. But the small mammals in the burrows survived. The birds survived. 66 million years later, the descendants of those small mammals built cities, flew to the moon, and made documentaries about the Tuesday that almost didn't happen. The dinosaurs had 165 million years. We have had 66 million. So, remember that the next time Tuesday morning feels very ordinary.